Hi, I'm Susan Kapuscinski-Gaylord, and I'm very excited to be sharing my new book with you, Handmade Books for a Healthy Planet, 16 Earth-Friendly Projects from Around the World. I like to think of it as a how-to book with a purpose, and the purpose is to take tiny steps to make our planet more healthy. So we're not going to change the world, but I do feel that by making the books in here, it's just it does some things to change the way we think as well as giving us something to do. I think of the planet in two ways. One, culturally, one, what we are doing as people, and the other, the planet as the physical earth, the physical object that it is, and what we can do to affect its health and its life. So in terms of the cultural part, the books in here are all based on projects from different places in the world. So there's a lot of different cultures represented. Some of the book forms are historical, some of them are contemporary. And I feel that by making things, the more we can understand about each other, the better it is for our planet and our world. The other thing is that we're using recycled materials for all the books in here, and so that does two things. One is the obvious thing. It helps us. We consume less. We're using less raw material to make our books, and that's a good thing. But the other thing, which I think is just as important, is that it begins to teach us to see things differently. And I like to describe it as it lets us see things not just for what they are, but for what they can become. So when we put something in the recycling bin, when we discard something, now we can start to look at it and say, well, what else could I make from this? And I think that attitude, that way of looking things will be important as we move forward and as our planet has less resources. And the very last thing, the most important thing that this book is about making handmade books. And it's something that I've been doing for over 20 years. I've been doing it myself as an artist, myself as a teacher, making models, making samples to take with me when I give my workshops in schools, in libraries. I've worked with children, with parents, teachers, grandparents. And it's I feel that it's really important to take some time out of your life to make something. And books to me are a great thing to do because they can also be the places where you can tell your stories, where you can express your feelings, where you can look at the world around you and put your observations in a book. This book is written for adults, assuming that you'll be working with children, spending time with children. But what I would encourage you most, and just to mention that I would say a 5th or 6th grader could easily use the book on their own. But what I would encourage any adult who does pick up this book and sit down to make books with your children or somebody's children is to not do it from a distance, to not say, oh, here's how you do it and give that as something for the children to do, but as something that you do yourself. The world is moving faster and faster all the time, and for me, I find that the time I set aside to sit and make books is a really quiet space in that very busy time. It makes me both energized and relaxed, and I would encourage you to do the same, to take some time to make books, relax, enjoy.